If you wanna find me, yeah, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame? I be in the front row, chilling at a ball game. Yeah, you know what they say, when you're having fun, time flies. Catch me courtside, chilling with the inside. Scoop, come on, tell me how you want it. Catch me on the court, it's the best view in sports.
What's good, y'all? This is Talk Your Shit, sponsored by In the Front Row. This is episode 10, man. We got a special guest in the building, a special guest in the building. Talk Your Shit, love. But introduce yourself to the people.
Well, my name is Patient Jabbah. I am a recent graduate from the University of Dubuque. In my 4 years there, I played tennis. So that was quite an interesting experience, but I was a criminal justice and psychology major with a focus in pre-law. So hopefully after this, I will be attending law school in August.
Okay. So talk to me about this law school. Like what sparked your interest in law school? Like what sparked your interest in law?
I would say, well, first my parents kind of said, "Oh, you're gonna be a lawyer," and I was like, "Okay, sure." But I enjoyed the law. So luckily for me, I definitely enjoy reading the law, and I definitely enjoy interpreting the law. So then it's something that I was like, okay, I could see myself going into this field and becoming a defense attorney.
Okay. So talk to me about UD. Talk to me about your experience. How did you end up there? Like, talk to me about that experience there, your 4 years there. Talk to me about it.
It was quite something. A part of being a student athlete, I was also an RA, peer mentor, president of several organizations. So I was highly active and highly involved. But it was something. As we all know, UD is a PWI, so it can be a little challenging at times, to say the least. But other than that, I would say being on the tennis team was probably like my favorite experience out of it all, because we have amazing coaches. And even though our program didn't do so well because of recruiting, so recruiting was really difficult, but I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, so tennis, talk to me about that, because I'm interested in that. So what was the recruiting? Like, what was the problem with that? Like, talk to me.
Well,
you willing to share?
I went in. I originally did track, but then I went in. I don't think I want to run track anymore. It's painful, and I have flat feet, so I guess shin splints super easy.
Oh, I understood.
You know, I don't want to do track anymore, so that's not for me. And so tennis is spontaneously decided to play tennis. My first year, like, I wasn't even on the roster, really wasn't that good, but I worked my way up to the roster and became really decent at it. But it's a fun sport, and I'm glad I actually did it. It's a really fun sport. I still play tennis now just for fun, because it's a nice little pastime activity, and it's really fun to play.
Yeah, tennis definitely fun to play. I'll watch tennis too. Tennis is definitely fun. I think it's funner to play than to watch, because like when you actually play tennis and to be in the atmosphere and get to play and playing against somebody intense, you realize it's like, yeah, this take a lot of skill. But to watch it, you might be like, oh no, that might be easy. But when you actually play it, it's like, this the real deal. So tennis is definitely a respectable sport. What you was gonna say? I'm sorry.
I said, excuse me. I'm like, people watch tennis and just say, oh, it's easy. It's just like you're just hitting the ball back and forth. I can totally play this. But then when you actually like get into it, you realize, oh no, this is actually really hard. This is a hard sport.
Yeah, it's cardio, it's thinking, it's tactics, because that person, some people already know where they're gonna hit the ball before they hit it. Some people be just do it. Like, it's so crazy, because like, especially in Dubuque, when they used to play the little racquetball and they play a little tennis, they take that serious. Like the elderly women and stuff like that, they have little tournaments and they just go crazy with that stuff. And like dudes who come in there and think they just thinking it's sweet and thinking them elderly women gonna come take it easy on you. Nah, they come in crazy. They come in nice. So can you explain to the people about the RA experience? Like, explain, because that's interesting to me. Like, I always thought found it interesting to be an RA, but I just don't want the responsibility of an RA. You know what I'm saying? Just having to deal with that, especially dealing with freshmen. I'm sorry, like freshmen, bro, y'all be OD. Y'all be OD. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Y'all be OD, asking unnecessary questions. Sometimes y'all call for stuff y'all can text. Like I haven't seen it. Like, yeah, so like explain that to the people. Like
I would say I had a very interesting experience as an RA. I kind of try to keep my head down, um just lay low a little bit because it doesn't take much for you to get booted out the job. As
right,
right,
right. Especially at our university.
Man, man. Funny thing is, I ended up like my senior year, like I had like 5 weeks of 5 weeks of graduation, like 5 weeks till I was 4 weeks actually till I was done. And then it was already like I was an RA for 4 years and a day one at that. My residents can attest that I was a damn good RA because it's just honestly just listening to your floor and listening to the students and what they need. And sometimes they can be a little needy, but then that's kind of where you have to create that boundary where it's just like, okay, like I'm not your mother. Like I'm not here to raise you. Like I'm just here if you need something. Like you can ask me. I can see what I can do for you, but I'm not your mother. That's kind of because the RA role. Sometimes students can see you as that, and it's just like I'm not your parent. I'm not here, especially in the freshman hall. No, but then it was just like towards the end, and then also that's where like whether your residents like you or not, like people like you want to make sure your residents kind of sort of like you, because if they don't, then it's probably even more difficult, which you don't need at all. But then I got booted out the job with 4 weeks left of school because someone wrote an anonymous report and said that I'm like doing all these illegal activities. And then I literally had like security search my room and everything and all this like crazy stuff. I'm like, I've been married for 4 years. Like like where's the trust in this? Like where I think that was when I was just like, you know what, I can't do this. Like I've heard like other Black RAs gotten like not treated so fairly, but and then for me, I was just like personally, I never thought that would happen to me because I'm just like I am overly active involved in the university. I'm like overly involved in everything. Like you guys know me. It's not like I'm some stranger that you guys don't know. So the fact that it's some anonymous report that you guys are listening to, like seriously, at that point I was just like, I'm done. Like I'm not even gonna fight for it. I'm not even gonna like whatever. Okay. Just okay.
So let's talk a little bit about your senior year, because my senior year, I ain't gonna lie, my senior year flew by. It was like a doozy. Like it was like I looked up and we was graduating. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me about your senior year a little bit.
My senior year was intense because I'm a GPA freak, so it's like it was really important to me how high my GPA is, and then trying to maintain that GPA with everything with life going on and everything. I'm pretty sure like I got my first like maybe C like second semester of my senior year because it was so intense. Like if you don't really care about your GPA or care about grad school, college is a lot less stressful. It also right. But for me, it's just like knowing that, oh, I want to go to law school after this. I want to do this after this. I want to do this after this. Like this is my end goal. So much more intense. Like my senior year is probably would say one of my most stressful year. Supposed to be like I'm supposed to have like enjoyed it. It was one of 100%.
For me, my senior year was like the year I kind of just woke up to a lot of the things. Like it's a lot of the stuff like I felt like I could have been doing, but it's like this year was the year. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do this now. It's like, damn, bro, what if you would have been doing this a long time ago consistently? Like it's like what? But it's like, shoot, better late than never. I'm doing it now. Just go get to it. So that's how it was for my senior. So for me and my experience at Dubuque, I never really had like problems with like the race issue, like being that, you know what I'm saying, obviously we're a minority at the school, you know what I'm saying, is, you know what I'm saying. How did you have any problems at the school? Because me personally, my experience at the University of Dubuque, I never had any problems. The teachers, everybody like so helpful, overly helpful, you know what I'm saying? They always reach out to me all the time when stuff go wrong and stuff like that. Did you have that same experience at the University of Dubuque?
I would say honestly for me, it's not the teachers at UD are amazing. Well, some of them are really amazing. I feel like it's the administration. Like if I had to criticize alma mater. Like that's my biggest criticism is that, you know, their motto is like UD family and all that other stuff. But I'm like, it's the administration. Like the teachers themselves go out of their way. Like some of them go out of their way for their students. Like they're professors right now that I can text in a heartbeat, like that I'm just
Talk
like,
your shit.
like you are freaking amazing. Like you are the reason why I'm like still here. And then there's the administration where I'm just like, you don't even know half of that. Like, you don't know what happens at your on your campus. Like, because I remember once I had a meeting with President Bullock, and then he was talking about the diversity on campus. And I'm like, let's be honest, there's no diversity on campus. By second semester, all the Black students drop out because the financial aid office is not helpful at all. Like, it's not helpful. You go in there and the first thing they say, oh, take out a loan, take out another loan. Oh, we can't help you. And if you owe like $5 in your student account, they hunt you down for the whole semester. I'm just like, can you guys relax? Like the administration that you do, all they honestly at the end of the day, all they care about is the money. I'm like, the admin only cares about the money. I'm like, you guys actually even see your students? You guys see like how much, like how stressful like college is? Like pipe down, like find some other way to help your students. Because at the end of the day, these professors are doing a lot more for their students than the actual school is. There was an incident that occurred as an RA where there was a student that like, need, and instead of like the administration, like the administration arrives, like people are like in res life arrive or whatever, and then instead of them taking this student to the hospital right away, they're over here bickering about the fact that they cannot transport the student in a university vehicle because of liability issues. And I'm just over here like,
you worrying about liability in the moment?
Liability when there's a student's life on the line right now. Do you not see the issue here? Like, I don't. You take this kid into the hospital, take them to the hospital. Like, you shouldn't be bickering about, oh, we can't take them in a university vehicle. Da, 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 da. Like, what? Like that, right? You know, like my biggest red flags. Like, which is like, yeah, y'all do not care about y'all students at all. Like, y'all just care about the reputation and making sure your university look good. And honestly, like, if I say I do not like my alma mater, like I don't, like if somebody said, should I go to UD? No, I would say no. I would honestly say no. Like for the professors, I would say yes, because the professors are amazing. For the administration, I would say no.
Heard. So any advice you have for the freshmen, like that freshman, that sophomore that's coming in this fall, upcoming semester? Any advice you got for them?
I would say just like a generic college advice. A freshman year is not, it's like a year to have fun. But remember that your GPA matters. Don't have too much fun. Like, I know the freshman class from being up for and everything else that I was for last class struggle with their grades because they weren't now having fun and then coming back and being a student again. So you cannot go year like a 1 point something or 2 point something. Like you can't really do that. Like you cannot afford to do that because it matters. So find that perfect balance, find that schedule. It's going to be really difficult, but also ask for help. Like the ASC, very resourceful. Like I was a tutor and I would always recommend the ASC, like 8 people in there that would, you know, it's other students helping other students. And if you find yourself just stuck, go there early on, then wait until like finals to try to figure out your grades, because by then it's too late. Like, don't do it. But and also another advice is pick your friends wisely, because I feel like freshman year everyone are all buddies, and then by like second semester, I don't like this person, I don't like this person did this person did that, and now there's a whole drama, your whole friend group. Like, pick your friends wisely, because at the end of the day, half of these friends you got now, you ain't gonna be friends again. Like by senior year, like I could say coming in my freshman year, I'm friends with about 3 people from my freshman year friend group. Like them friends, they matter. Like they're going to matter in college, because they could be your study group, they could be your study buddies, or they could be the ones taking you to parties, then taking you here and there. So like your friends and who you affiliate yourself with matters. Because when I first came in, my friend group had me staying up 3 a.m. out doing stuff I'm supposed to be doing instead of studying. Like my first semester was a mess. So I affiliated myself, aligned myself with a different group of friends where my grades went up. We were more studying, more focused. We knew when to party and when to focus on school. Like your friend group will definitely make or break you in college.
Man, hey, look, you just gave so much good advice right there, man. Can you explain to the people one more time why your friendship group is so important? Because that's like the some of the most important advice a college person can have. Like, please explain to the people one more time.
Like I said previously, it breaks you. It literally makes or breaks you. There are people in colleges come to play sports. I saw that a lot, unfortunately, with the football team, where they're like, "Oh, I'm just here for football. I'm just here for football." So then, like, they took those friend groups, then like ended up coming down. Like, they didn't really do so well because they weren't really focused on school. They were just focused on partying and playing football. But and then that ended up like harming them so much. While then there's other friend groups where they're like, oh no, like we have that perfect balance of athlete and academics, and so then they thrived really well. And me personally, I was coming in first part of that friend groups where they were just, we just want to party Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're out to like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. at night because like you find like when you get to college, you have this freedom. You don't have a bedtime. No one is telling you what to do. Like you can come in and out of the halls whenever you want. Like no one is looking at you. No one is like, honestly, no one really cares what you do unless you get in trouble. So then like it's up to you to say, okay, here's my bedtime. Here's how I need to like regulate my time, because you'll find like with all this free time, like I come from a strict household. So then having that huge free time, I wanted to do whatever the hell I wanted. I was out acting a fool. But then I was like, wait, hold up. This ain't how I was raised. Okay, let me find me a different friend group that was kind of sort of raised the same way as I was. And then like get back into that routine. And that routine really, really helped me.
Hey, you talking your shit today. You talking your shit today now. Since you talking so like, man, can you give us, as a man, can you give us the female perspective, like for like the locker room, the atmosphere, like coming into practice? Like, can you give us that, like for the talk your shit? So like, can you give us that perspective? Like when y'all walk in the locker room, when y'all start y'all day, like what is y'all mindset? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all thinking when y'all wake up? Because y'all still got the same weight room. Y'all still got the same recommend, but people don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's not respected just because, but y'all still putting in the work just like us. So talk yourself about that and let us know, like, from your perspective, what it's like.
As your previous question about like life as a female athlete, basically, I would say females, we can be very catty. Everyone knows we can be very catty. But I would, from my perspective, on our tennis team, I know that whatever drama we had off the courts, whenever like some, because we were beefing, there was always beef. There's always going to be beef when there's a bunch of females in one area. I would say when we stepped on that court, we had the mindset that it's off the court. Like we're not going to discuss anything that's not tennis related. We're going to act civil and we're going to be teammates. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to be buddies, but we're going to be teammates. And we're going to be civil about it and act like we got some sense. So that was really, really nice. We never brought any of our off the court drama on the courts, but then just also, I would say that like going like lifting and stuff like that, like also sharing, because like tennis is kind of like a blended sport in a way, because we have a men's tennis team and a women's tennis team. So then like having to share weight room with the boys, having to share like the course with the boys, having to share like other facilities with the males, it wasn't so bad. Like it was actually, because for us, I feel like they're used to having females around, whereas football isn't a blended sport. So if they were to create like a female football team, I'm not sure, like I don't know how the male football players would react, because they've never really had to share a facility with a bunch of women before. So for us personally, it was a lot. I cannot lift most of the guys on the tennis team. So it was really nothing like, oh, it's jealousy or any of that. No, they're really kind. If you need help, they were there to help. So I really love that aspect of my tennis team personally, where the guys were just, they're kind of like older brothers in a weird way, or younger brothers in a weird way. But we were honestly like a family. A little catty, a little drama here and there, but that's expected with any with any team. But yeah, I feel like life as a female athlete is, if you have the right environment, the right coaches, like our coach is very understanding that we're females at the end of the day. So he was very accommodating to anything that arose or anything that came about. So I'm highly grateful for the coach that I had and for the teammates that I have, because they definitely made my life as a female athlete a lot easier, as opposed to there's some other sports where we've heard horror stories where the coach isn't still accommodating to females, or the coaches or lifting instructors aren't so accommodating. But I would say for me, I never had that experience in my sporting, because our athletic trainers or lifting people, like my coach, everyone's like really understanding whenever like female issues came about, or whenever personal problems arose. They were always really understanding. So I'm highly grateful for that.
Was Mandat your strength and conditioning coach too?
It wasn't. It was JJ.
It was JJ. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That okay, yeah. JJ, shout out to JJ, man. Shout out to you, man, doing your thing out there, man. So man, you gave us so much advice and so much stuff, and gave the people so much. I just got one more question for you. One more question. So, if you talk about the administration for UD, do you feel like it's something that the NCAA can do to help the female athlete better achieve and better thrive throughout their process of college?
Oh, I honestly, because I didn't have a negative experience as a female athlete, I really can't speak to it. I feel like because my coach was like who he is, it's Deshaun Daring. I'm not sure if you know him, but because my coach is like who he is, so I generally had like a really nice experience, as opposed to other athletes where I'm not going to say a sport because I'm not like I can speak for them, but as opposed to other sports where their coaches weren't so accommodating. So then I feel like in things like that, that's up to like the assistant to take it up to the athletic director, the assistant director, stuff like that. Because I know a big problem was we're student athletes, student first, athlete second. When then there are coaches where like, nope, you're an athlete first. But I'm just like, that hinders these performances. That if your athlete has a GPA that's like a 2.0 or something, they can't play. So then you have to remember that these kids are athlete second, student first. I feel like that's something that the NCAA or the assistant athletic director or athletic director needs to step in and really address and really hound in with college sports, is that we're not getting paid to do this. We're doing this for fun. Like, this is not professional. Like, do not have all this pressure. For example, I feel like the football team has such a pressure on their back to win. But I'm just like, and now they're failing because they have all this pressure on their backs. Like, we play these sports for fun. Like, that's what I always told myself. I'm playing tennis for fun. I'm not here to be competitive. I'm not here. Like, of course, there's a level of competitive for fun, but at the end of the day, it's still for fun. And I'm always going to pick academics first. Like, if I have a game or a test, I'm taking the test over the game. I don't care. I'm picking that over the game. I feel like a lot of coaches need to have that mindset that you want to see your students succeed in the classroom first before on the field any day.
I can attest to that. I'm gonna give you an example. So we had a final, right? We had a final that I told my coach literally the week before. I said, Coach, look, I got a final. I might be late to practice because, like, I need to study for this final. I got this final right after practice. I might be, you know what I'm saying? I need to get right. He was like, you missed this practice. You might not play this week. So I'm like, all right, you crazy. So mind you, he scheduled the practice, right? I'm telling him because I had a night class. So practice ended around like 8 and the night class was about like 9:30 to 10:30. It was like an hour. So he scheduled, like, he pushed in practice, like, do this again. Mind you, it's about 4 people on the team that's in this class. Mind you, these 4 people were like monumental to the team. The quarterback, the receiver, a linebacker, and our starting safety, all in this class. You know what I'm saying? And it's not no elective. This is like a common core. This is like a math class. So, bro, we trying to tell them, like, yo, if we miss this final, we ain't gonna be able to play. Like, what do you mean? Like, we trying to leave. Like, this is JUCO. We trying to go to a university after this. He's like, look, y'all gonna stay until y'all get this right. We don't care about now. I'm like, what? Like, am I like I'm confused right now? Like, I know this JUCO, but like, come on now. Like, we got this final, bro. Like, we need to get this done. So that was just that was like the only time where it was like a coach chose like football over academics and stuff like that. And that was so weird to me because that was the first time that ever happened. And then, like, when I told my mom that, she was just elated. Like, she was so mad. She was like, oh, you almost missed to a final and all this. If you would have failed that class, I wouldn't have got on him. I would have got on you. And it was just like, oh man, like, that's crazy. So that was the only time I had that experience with football. Like, other than that, like with UD, the coaches, like they make study hall and stuff like that, but they kind of put it to where it's like, okay, we're gonna give you this study hall, we're gonna give you these study sessions. You do this right now, and it's up to you to take this on, because it's like, okay, if your grades is low now, it's like, okay, you have study hall Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 2 hours. And you could stay there as long as you wanted to study hall closed, and you know there's tutors in there. So it's like, what's your excuse? Like, yeah, we play football, yeah, we do this out, but we got study hall. They give us the resources. These tutors tell us, oh, you play football, we understand you practice, we'll help you, we'll sit down with you, just got a schedule appointment just like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get football, you don't get that type of, you got to schedule yourself. So it's that. So for me, it'd be like, okay, yeah, it's like we got that responsibility on our shoulder, but it's like at the same time, you sign that contract, you know what you signed up for. They give us the resources. It's up to you to, like, you know what I'm saying? Is you gonna party, or after practice you gonna study your notes, or you gonna go to sleep? So that's just, I just feel like, yeah, just like how you said, it's like it's what you make of it, what you gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? So college is like everything what you make of it. Like when you, that's why I say, like, that's why I actually repeat what you said, because everything, college is what you make of, from your friend, your relationship, teachers, everything. Like if you speak to your teachers the right way, you can have a C close to a B, and they boost it up just from you having that good relationship with them. So
definitely,
yeah.
I've had where I had an 89. It's not round up. Actually, I had a 90. That's like a 93 because I needed an A plus like in that class. I'm one of those people. I needed an A plus and an A minus. And like my friend who's also in that class, he had an 89. And like a couple things, like you could have rounded that grade up. But my grade got rounded up and his didn't. And I was talking to him about it. I was like, oh, this professor didn't round your grade up? And then he was like, what are you talking about? He doesn't round grade up. And I was just like, oh, okay, never mind. And then even like that same professor, like I had like a family emergency and it was like 100-point final. And I was just like, okay, I'm going through a lot right now. Can I like take the final a different day? And then he was like, oh, it's okay. You don't even have to take the final. You already have an A in the class. It's okay. You don't need to take the final. And I was just
the
like,
best professors.
like what? Because it was like 100-point final. It was like 100 questions. Like I've been stressed out for this final. And then like that family emergency just happened like out of the blue. And I'm just like, fuck, like I have to go back home. I have to like take care of this. So like, can I just, I emailed a lot of my professors like, hey, could you guys give me an extension on these finals? Most of them gave me extensions. But then this professor was like, oh yeah, you don't have to take the final. Like, don't worry about it. You're okay. And I was just like, that is just from like building that relationship with your professor. Like just having those type of relationships with professors where it's like mutual respect, mutual understanding. If they know that you're working hard and they know that you really like where basically if you like they know where you want to go and where you want to be in life after college. And then so like communicating that with them and telling them how important your grades are or not important they are to you really helps like how much they can help you as well.
Man, look, man, it was so fun having you on this show, man. I thank you for taking your time out on this 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Happy 4th of July to the people, man, out there, man. I thank you for taking the time out. It was wonderful talking to you, wonderful sharing mindsets and understanding, like getting a little female perspective from you. I appreciate you again. This is episode 10 of the Talk Your Shit show, you know what I'm saying, with our special guest in the building, man. Anything you got to say to the people before we wrap up the show?
No, not really. But thanks for having me. Besides, thanks for having me. That's it.
Okay. Anybody you want to shout out?
Oh, God, no. No.
Okay. This is Talk Your Shit, episode 10, y'all, man. Hope y'all tap in. Look, let's get it.
Have a good one.